he has potential in a way to break your account, if that makes sense.
Guys, we got to talk about it. Brant's kit is not a disaster. So in today's video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know. So for those of you that don't know, ever since the 2.1 update, you've been able to go into your menu, head on over to the gallery, and if you go over to Crossing Stars, you can check out Brant and check out his entire kit and what it brings to the table. Now, a lot of people have been messaging me asking me to react to this video that talks about how Brant could possibly break your account because he's insanely hard to build, if not the hardest unit to build in the game. And sorry for the late upload here, I was getting my ass handed to me while beating the newest hologram. And listen, don't mind the other holograms, I just got back to playing after like 2-3 months and my community kept pushing me to try this hologram because apparently it's insanely difficult. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to give you my take on Brant and give you my personal opinion as to what I believe this unit brings to the table and if he's truly that hard to build where he can break your account. So let's hop right in. So, to break down what the deal is with Brant and why he's apparently so hard to build, I'm gonna let the Giga Chat version of Bobby Lee explain it to you.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of like the bread and butter of his kit. Brant gains additional attack based on his energy regeneration. For every 1% of his ER over 150%, he gains 12 points of attack, up to 1560. So, let's just do some math, guys. So, the 1560 that we're seeing over here, right, divided by 12, or the 12 points of attack, means that he's going to need 130% ER over 150. And so that basically means 280%. He's going to need 280% ER to actually gain the full attack bonus that we're going to be seeing on this screen. So with that, he's going to be hard to build.
Alright, so as he said, the thing is, to maximize Brant's kit, to get the full potential from his kit, you're going to need a total of 280 ER, which might seem like quite a lot. And don't get me wrong, in all reality, it is quite a lot. This, on top of the fact that you obviously want to get crit rate and crit damage as high as you can, means you will generally have to have 3 precise substats in most pieces to get the best out of Brant. But we will talk about this topic a little bit later. First off, I want to take a look at the minimum ER we would have on Brant without any energy regen substats. A character's base energy regen is 100. Then if we add Brant's weapon into the mix, and guys, if you don't want any spoilers for Brant's weapon, skip a few seconds ahead, but his weapon gives him 77 energy regen. Then we take into account the 2-3 cost energy regen echoes for a total of 64 energy regen. His echo set gives 10% ER for the 2-piece bonus. This alone gives you a total of 251 energy regen, and keep in mind, we haven't gotten to the substats yet. Meaning, to reach our maximum goal of 280 ER, we still need a whopping 29% energy regen, which is actually quite a bit. Do keep in mind, this is to get the max potential from Brant's kit. Now, here's the possible percentage for Echo substats. I want to put this on screen so you guys have a general idea of the percentages you can roll. So considering that 6.8 is the lowest amount you can roll for ER, you would need to roll that on all 5 pieces in order to fulfill the 280% energy regen. But let's say you manage to get a couple of pieces with, I don't know, 9% energy regen and another piece with the lowest, which is 6.8. That's already over 275 energy regen. Almost the max energy regen you need to maximize his buff, and you still have 2 pieces you can work around that don't necessarily need ER, and you can focus on getting the best offensive stats possible. Well, now the reason I'm bringing this thing up is because it feels like it's really hard to get that 280 ER, and while yes, if you want to get this as easily as possible, you most likely will have to have ER on most of your pieces. You don't necessarily have to have ER on most of your pieces. You can go ahead and get it on like 3, maybe even 2, and you'll still be at around 270 ER, which is pretty damn good. Now let's go back to the echo stats we were talking about earlier. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we usually try to roll for 3 or more desired substats when we build our characters? For example, on Gion, we would want the usual crit rate and crit damage alongside heavy attack. For Jin Shi, we would want the usual crit rolls as well as skill damage. And on top of this, we want other offensive stats, because ain't nobody got time for flat defense and flat HP, so forth and so on. So what exactly is the difference when wanting to build our usual crit rolls on top of an energy regen substat, especially when we can achieve such high numbers like 251 with minimal efforts? And while sure, the dream would be to have 280 ER right away, you don't necessarily need 280 ER for this unit to be amazing. I'm sure that 260 or 270 ER is quite good, and you won't be missing out on the majority of Brant's buff. So going as far as saying he has the potential to break your account is a little far-fetched if you ask me. I mean, any unit has potential to break your account if you're trying to absolutely max your Echo substats and their rolls. With all that being said, I will say he is a unit that will heavily depend on his signature weapon. If you want to have ease of use and a much easier time building him, you are going to have to go for his weapon. If you're thinking of skipping his weapon, keep in mind that your build will be much harder to achieve. You will still be able to achieve the 250 ER requirement for the Tide Breaking Echo set, but you can forget about reaching 280 ER to maximize his kit's buff. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the lame nerdy ass number crunching and kit analysis. At the end of the day, this is the fruity pirate himself, the first limited character to drop to synergize great with Saint Tontus's favorite unit, Chang Li. His whole kit will play quite well with her buffing her skill damage and fusion damage alike. On top of the fact this dude heals and has a shield, I mean, he's quite the interesting unit if we're keeping it a stack, right chat? And now to end off the video, I want to say, I don't even like Brant. First off, he's a dude. Second, he looks too fruity for my taste, but I felt like after you guys were all over me talking about how the Woo Messiah himself insulted y'all baby daddy's Brant, the best course of action was to make this video. At the end of the day, we will have to wait and see how good he truly is and how well he pairs with a unit like Shang Li when he officially drops. And just remember, pull who you want, be it because of meta or the size of their booba. But that's it for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're pulling for Brant, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Exactly. If we want something from the sea, we have to offer something in return. So, Captain, ready for what comes next?
More passion! Listen carefully. Woo! Ah! In the limelight! Woo! Ah! Victory's mine! Keep the cheers coming!
The Tidebreaker attacked us.
He and his crew did indeed brave the treacherous stormy sea and returned with immense wealth.
I think I sensed their pain and anger.
Looks like to claim Drake's treasure, one must pay a price equal to its worth.